What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started today, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, yes, we're playing NBA 2K24 on next gen, and today I'm going to be bringing y'all the first ever and rare hybrid defender build in NBA 2K24, and I'm telling y'all, this one today is going to be one of the most rare and funnest small forward builds to use going into Season 1. So for the height on this build, we're going to be making it to 6'9". As for the weight, I'm going to go ahead and put this to 221. And for that wingspan, make sure you put this to 7'7". Now, everything on this build will be adjustable to your own liking. But for a Season 1 lockdown defender, I definitely believe this is probably going to be one of the more safer and well-balanced builds to move forward with. So the first area that I do want to get into is going to be that interior defense. This is actually going to be a really special attribute of this build today. Now, it's going to be one of three that can hit a 99. The other two are going to be the block and defensive rebound. Now, for this build, as far as for animations, I really do believe down the road we're going to be able to possibly get contact dunks. Now, for the offensive side of things, this is going to be more one of the well-rounded lockdowns because we can definitely finish but also be a threat from the three-point range. Now, the shooting, in my opinion, is going to be more than enough, and you're going to see just in a moment what I mean. But in my opinion, I do believe that this is going to be a very safe build to use as a template for a lockdown defender. Now, you're going to see just as we go through the breakdown of this build, this is going to be one of the highly powered and very elite defensive builds, and my favorite thing about it is that I think this is going to be a rare build name as well. Now, before we get any further into this video, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. So for the numbers on the defensive end, you can primarily see that I was focusing on that interior defense, also the block, and definitely that defensive rebound. Now, as for the perimeter defense and steal, I think these numbers are balanced as well. Now, depending on which takeovers that we do unlock, I think this build definitely has potential to be one of the best defensive builds on day 1 for Season 1 throughout the first 40 days. Now, for the way that I did get this gameplay, I'm telling y'all, I got a few people out in New Zealand just to throw that out to y'all. So if you need anything, go ahead and let me know down below any builds y'all want to go ahead and see created. I definitely will be sure to look at your comments and responses, and be sure to bring out those videos and builds that y'all want to see. Now, to wrap everything up on the physical end, my speed, I was happy with the 75. 65 acceleration, 85 strength, 75 vertical with a 90 stamina. Now, being a lockdown defender, whether you're the primary defender on the team or even the secondary, I think it's super important to have some pretty balanced physicals, especially to pair up well with your defensive side of the ball. Now, we pretty much have about 9 to 8 overall left to work with when it comes to the shooting as well as the finishing. If you want to focus on the playmaking, that is definitely something that I can work with. But at least you want to be sure that you do raise that pass accuracy up to a 70-75 range. I think that's going to be perfect. Now, one thing that I'm super happy about on this build is going to be the versatility on the defensive end. Now, yes, we do have that high pass accuracy, which will allow us to take this build into any game mode, but being able to be a mid-height build at 6'9", the wingspan is pretty much maxed out with a mid-weight. I think this is going to allow us to guard any position 1 through 5, whether this is a shorter or max height, max weight build. I think this is going to be a nice matchup for that. Now, if you end up guarding a build that's going to be around 6'1", possibly even shorter, I think we have the speed that makes up for it, and that wingspan is definitely going to be a huge help. Now, for a first lockdown defender build, I definitely believe that this is going to be a pretty nice template to start off of. You have a lot of versatility to work with when it comes to the attributes. I mean, look, we can even raise the driving dunk above a 90 if you want to take that route. If you want to even go higher on the three-point shot, I definitely think that that's something we can make work also. As for the attributes all around, I think this is going to be one of those builds that give you the most bang for your buck, but feel free to go about this anything to your own liking and playstyle, as long as you're happy with what you come out with, especially if you're catering to your own playstyle. That is what I highly recommend for everybody and anybody watching today's video. Now go ahead and let me know, for those of y'all tuning in, what do y'all think of the NBA 2K24 new MyPlayer builder? In my opinion, the way it feels, it looks like we have a lot more of freedom when it comes to customization from the attributes, and I honestly do like how certain attributes are tied in and connected to others. Now moving on to the finishing side of things, I think that driving dunk is going to be pretty solid around the 80s range. Now if you want to, you can definitely go ahead and raise or lower some of the physicals, but as for these numbers, we're getting pretty close to a 99 overall, so this is something that what you should be expecting to make day one if you want to find a lockdown defender build that you can find success with. Now if you do take this build into the rec, I would definitely recommend upgrading that free throw, and if you want to, you can take a few ticks off of the pass accuracy. I think that 80 is going to be pretty elite, especially considering bailout is going to be a badge that is going to be highly sought after, and we have to keep our pass accuracy, I believe, at least above an 85 to an 87. Now if you want to, go ahead and make that happen. But as for the shooting and the finishing, I think this is somewhere around the range that we should keep the numbers at in order to move forward with this build. And being able to maintain just an elite level on the defensive end, I think it's going to make up perfect for the rest of the build. Now we're still going to be able to get badges like Posterizer. I also do like Catch and Shoot. Now if you want to go the extra route to try to unlock Agent 3, that's something that I can definitely see viable. From here, I'm going to go ahead and max the rest of the build out. Let's go ahead and check out what we made today, and if you followed along every single step of the way, we should be getting these three comparisons, Scottie Barnes and Jason Tatum. And now as y'all can see together, we were able to create the first ever hybrid defender in NBA 2K24 on next gen. Now let me know down below your thoughts and opinion on today's build. Did you go ahead and find something similar to what I brought to y'all, or go ahead and create your own version? Now for those of you who are tuning in still, thank you so much for your support. More so than anything, thank God for another day and another opportunity. And before we get out of here, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I'll definitely be sure to get back to y'all with a response. Thank y'all for the support, and with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.